not started yet. Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in to my first forum on Let's Talk Relationships. I am author Lardina Coles, and this is some of my dearest and closest friends. This is my husband, Stefan Coles, my best friend, Nicole Tillman, and my twin sister, Lardita Rideout. I wanted to have this forum because I had a lot of people come to me in regards to my book, Relationship Matters. This is the book. It's $10.99. You can purchase it on my website at www.relationshipmattersministries.com, amazon.com, barnesandnobles.com. You can actually follow me on Facebook at Relationship Matters. I have a Google Plus account, Relationship Matters, Instagram, Relationship Matters 17. I'm all over the place. So please, just any questions that you may have during this forum, I ask that you would inbox me or put it on the comments on the Facebook live chat, and I will certainly get to those questions for you. So let's just get started. I wanted this forum to be a little more intimate the very first time. This is why I invited my dearest and closest friends. I wanted to really get their perspective on the book to share with you how the book meant to them and different aspects of the book that may have encouraged them or blessed them in any capacity. This book is not just about relationships as far as marriages, but all relationships are important to have and are important to embrace. We can't always deal with life alone. We're not meant to be alone in life. So this book deals with a whole aspect of relationship, and I just have a few of my friends again that's going to share their points of views, and then we're going to lead into a discussion about relationship matters. Thanks. So, thank you guys for coming this early Saturday morning. My husband has new shirts. That's my boo. The influence and the impact that this book is having on people's lives is really humbling experience to me. So I definitely wanted to be able to get that word out to you. So I'm going to start with my husband, and then with Nicole, and then with my sister Lardita on different aspects of the book and what it meant to them. And I hope you don't think this is biased, but I would not have an entourage who would allow me to publish a book that meant absolutely nothing. So as far as it being an impact to them, it really means a lot to me. And it encourages me as well. So, you want to get started?
Sure. First of all, this book has really been a blessing to me. It's been something that God has always dealt with me with personally, and then for my wife to write a book, it was like the complete manifestation of everything that God has always dealt with me with coming up. The book, I think what I like about this book the most is the practicality of it. It's not like go here, make 3 steps here, then turn here, hop 3 times, dance on your head, and then you'll have it. No, it's just simple, practical wisdom, practical steps, practical things that you can do, and it's stuff that's easy to apply. It may not seem like it's easy right away, but after reading the book and just taking the simple steps to actually apply what the book is giving you, it'll actually enhance and bless your life. Overall, I love the book. I was just telling my wife yesterday, I had to kind of reread it because I had, I read it and then I put it down. And then, for the forum, I was like, what, I need to freshen up on it because, I really want to be able to talk and relay. So, on the train, on the trains and buses, because I catch the bus to work, I had that time to actually sit down and, just read it and focus on it. And, the overall simplicity of the book is just awesome. There's a lot of key things in there, and, I don't want to give it all away because we got plenty of time to talk. But I know one of my favorite chapters is Why Relationship Matters. It's one of my favorite chapters, and because I'm a very relational person, as everybody here knows me and they know me pretty well. I'm very relational. I'm easy and I'm open to talk to. So it's like, I mean, I'm always laughing and giggling and having a good time. One of the things that's very important in a relationship is to always be open, to be able to laugh, to be, have fun, and also to be able to deal with the hard stuff. That's pretty much my spill. Like I said, I got more, but like I said, I really want to, turn it, because I'm married to all this, so, I got plenty of that. So, I don't want to take up the whole opening segment. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Nicole and Larry.
Okay, well, here's my book. What do I want to say about this book? First of all, I am biased because, Ardina is one of my best friends, and I'm just overall amazed at the fact that she finally finished this project, because I know you were working, it was on your heart for a while. And not just that, but I mean, just the lessons that you've had to walk through just to get to the point to be able to write it have been amazing. So just being able to see through a portion of that has been awesome. So yes, I'm biased, but I need to get the book. It's absolutely amazing. It may look like it's a small, little thin something or other, but it's actually very powerful. There's so much in this book that will help you with your life. Even if you think you've got it all together, there's some checks that you'll have to do when you're reading the book. It really makes you begin to give self-inventory of and reevaluate your own personal relationships, from friendships to romantic relationships to work relationships. I mean, she deals with everything in this book, and that's another reason why I think it's just so good, because it's relatable for all levels, and I think a vast variety of ages as well. Because I mean, even if you're a teenager, this is a good book to start delving into, just so that you can start governing your relationships early, and that you make better choices. One of the chapters that really stood out to me is chapter 5. It's called Toxic. Yes. You're It. And Lardina really describes what it is to be in a toxic relationship. I think that sometimes we don't even recognize that that's what we're in. So she makes it pretty clear in the book what a toxic relationship is. And I'm just going to read a little passage. For those of you who have your books, it's on page 30. And she goes into, the paragraph before, she's just talking about the type of people that are in these relationships and things to really keep in mind, 3 main points to keep in mind when you're in relationships with people. So the first thing is, number 1, you can't change people. Because you can't. Yeah. 2, they must want to change themselves. Which is very important to remember, because, we love people and we think that we're giving them tough love, or, I'm going to love you till you change, but that's not really how this works.
I'm loving the hell out you.
Right. And the third thing is, only God can change the heart of a person, which is 100% true. Only God can do the work. So you can pray for them, but you cannot make someone change. So the passage, so what exactly is a toxic relationship? A toxic relationship is when a person is not allowing you to be you. They are controlling, manipulative, and their tendencies of being physically, verbally, or mentally abusive if they aren't already. If we aren't careful, we can find ourselves in a toxic relationship or being the toxic person in the relationship. So it's important to really, like again I said, check yourself to make sure you're not the one being toxic. And I feel like I'm talking a whole lot, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But in addition to that, the other thing that really stuck out to me, one more point, because I can talk. So the other point is that really stuck out was the importance of saying no, and that spoke to me personally because I am a supporter. If somebody has a project, if somebody has an idea, I'm the first one that's jumping on the bandwagon. I'm behind you 100%. I'm about the first book. I'm going to help you edit it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, because that's just, it's in my heart to be support for people. Right. But I had to learn from a lot of trial and error that you have to say no. Mm-hmm. There are times when you have to say no. And just because sacrificing yourself in relationships is not what God wants. No. He doesn't want you to completely negate who he's called you to be because you're supporting somebody else. And that was, again, a lesson that I had to learn. And it really, reading this book helped with me even fully grasping those ideas of no is good.
Right. We have to understand, we think that the word no is always bad, but no creates boundaries. Right. It creates a sense of, this is my box, this is the line, do not cross it, because this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be, and this is my safe zone. When you have a tendency to say yes all the time, you are no longer you. You are who that person wants you to be, and then that's not being fair to yourself. And then how do you end up being genuine with yourself, and how can you be a true friend or even okay in a relationship with someone else? We have to understand that there's always a balance, and you have to say no. No was one of the toughest things that I had to learn. But when I got tired of being broke, busted, and disgusted, and walking around like everybody is doing them, and I'm feeling the void of me not sticking to my nose, then it came to a point to where I was just tired and miserable of just being tired and miserable. So no creates boundaries. And if you don't have the courage to say no, you just have to start from somewhere. Even if it's simple as taking somebody to the store. Well, if you don't feel like it, no. It's okay for them to get on the bus. There's Uber, there's Lyft, there's SEPTA. They can ask somebody else. And what my mom always say, there's nothing wrong with walking. So you can create boundaries just in a simple area of life. Start somewhere and continue to say no. If it does not feel right, say no, and it's quite all right. No creates boundaries. So, Lardita, we'd love to hear from you.
One of the things, first of all, as your twin sister, I'm extremely proud of you, because aside of what your husband experienced with a relationship with you, I myself have a relationship with you that's seen you with some of these struggles that's in this book, go through them and conquer them, and be able to share your wisdom concerning the, concerning the relationship matters. So, and I understand that, even just piggyback on what Nicole had just said about being the supporter and always saying yes, and for you to actually get this book out, you had to learn to say no,
right,
and put yourself first, so you can follow your heart and follow your dreams. So I commend you, first of all, because this is definitely something I've seen, since we were little girls, that you wanted to do and go off and be your own person. And I think this book right here has truly displayed that. And I believe this is one of the first of many projects that you will have, because this is really a ministry within the book. And I believe the book is just a part of it, of where God is going, that has his plan for you to go. But to answer your question, one of the things that really stuck out to me, and I don't even know what chapter this is, but the name of the chapter is Why Relationships Matter. And one of the things that God has been pressing on my heart is the scripture of Proverbs 27:17, when he talks about iron sharpening iron, and just being a person that is a single woman that's raised her children by herself. So I know independence. I know what it is to do it by myself. And I'm sorry, that piece where it says, a portion of the chapter where it says, life is better with friends. So that really touched me, because we live in a society today where it advocates and drives, especially women, that it's okay to do it alone when it's not okay to do it alone.
Right.
God created us to have relationships, even if you feel like marriage is not your destiny or marriage is not in the stars for you. God still intended you to be with friends.
Right.
So with that being said, with that being said, that portion of the book, I know.
She said she ain't need it, but
I saw it come. That portion of the book really stuck out to me, and I read over it quite a few times because God sticks to scripture in the book of wisdom, Proverbs, and says, iron sharpens iron. Well, how can I be sharpened when I close myself off?
Right.
When I experience a little turmoil and I'm going to put you over here because now I don't trust you.
Right.
Simply because I turned my back and you took a french fry. So, and I'm just saying that because I will cut you off for something that simple. Just on the strength of trying to protect myself because not only have I been in toxic relationships where they were the person that was toxic, I also experienced myself being a toxic person as well.
Right.
That relationships had to end because of it. So now I'm at a point where I understand. I'm gonna buy a new box. And now I'm at a point where it is better. So I'm at a point now with this book and this particular segment of the book really helped me to reach out and have a relationship with friends that I've known for over 20 years, and they say, oh my God, where you been? I'm here now, my bad, and I'll keep in touch, and we'll hang out, or whatever the case may be, and even when it comes to the matters of the heart, I understand that sometimes singleness isn't the resort of them, sometimes singleness is a resort of yourself.
Absolutely.
And you have to take self-inventory because at the end of the day, when you find all these relationships continue to end, the common denominator in the relationship is yourself.
Right.
So you have to take inventory, and now I'm preaching. Now I'm taking it up. But you just gotta take inventory, and life is better with friends just really spoke to me with not only just friends but with my family as well, that it's important to say, hey, I'm good, you good, and keep it moving.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to be a long, drawn-out thing, hey, and keep it moving, but you still have that camaraderie, you still have that relationship, because at the end of the day, God has truly created us to commune with one another.
Right.
So.
Right. It just really... one of the things that I dealt with when writing this book, and I really wanted to get out, simply because I was at a point in my life where I knew I was making the progress of healing. I was taking the accurate steps, but then I would see people around me, and I'm like, it came to a point I was sitting in my living room and I was like, it's not that deep, people. We have a tendency to make stuff deeper than what it actually is. And then it baffles my mind. And then I'm going to talk to the Christians here. It baffles my mind how we say we love God, we serve an almighty God, but yet and still we walk in loneliness when we serve a God who's relational.
yes.
We have to have a relation with not just God, but just with people. That's what he intended us to do, because if that was not the case, he would not have created Eve for Adam. He would not have created Adam for himself. Right. So we have to understand that relationships is important, and we have to understand that healthy relationships matter. We can't just get into any relationship because bad relationships create more hurt people, more toxic relationships, to where we're in this continuous cycle of being alone, defeated, just depression, anxiety. All that comes from the lack of communion with people. I really believe a lot of people will be so depressed, will have so much fear if we would just talk to somebody to help us get out of it. It's a matter of just having a relationship. It's a lot of things that during this book that I had to write because they just don't get it. They just don't get it. And I want people to get it. I want you to get it. It's not just about a romantic relationship. You gotta have that best friend. You gotta have that road dog, that support system in life. That's just how God designed us. The society and the enemy, which we know is the devil, it cracks me up how everybody walks around on Facebook, because we get Facebook tough Tony. I can do this by myself. I don't need this. F this. The world. I don't need the world. I don't need I can succeed on my own. I can do this. And that's completely not true. Because then you walk around behind closed doors feeling defeated and lonely and voided. But you on Facebook like, I don't need. Yes, you do need. Well, first of all, you need to stop lying to yourself and get it together and realize that you are made to be relational. You are made to be with somebody, whether it be a best friend, a cousin, a sister, whatever. You need a support system. I could not have wrote this book without my husband and my support system. When I told them, no, I can't do this, I can't go to Bible study for one night because I have to complete this book. I carried my laptop around me all the time. I carried a notebook because I didn't want to miss key components of what I wanted to say. So I'll be sitting here lying if I said that I wrote this book on my own and my success is based on what I did, Lardina Coles. No, I would be a complete liar. I could not do this book without my husband's money. I could not do this book without the supports of my friends, without praying, without my free editor. Like, she really helped me edit my book because I was like, look, I just need help. Like, you want to write certain stuff, but then on the paper it's like E-I-E-I-O. So I'm like, can you please help me with formulating my thoughts? And then my sister was, praying for me, helping me. She would give me key ideas. Well, just different other things. So this book is really about me, my life experiences, what I went through, and how I have overcome it. I still get challenged in relationship issues. I really do. But I'm learning. It is what it is. I set my boundaries. I keep people in prayer. And I learned that I can't change the world. There was a point in my life where I felt like I had to change the world. And that's not my responsibility. That is not my burden to bear. That is God himself. He's the only one that can do that. So a lot of the key points in this book to where, I stated relationship matters and why different things is simply because of my life experiences. And I really wanted to share that with people. And I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. So I didn't realize the capacity of what I was going through would help so many people. I get the inbox messages, and I actually do return the messages because relationship matters. It's important to me that you're okay. Yeah. We don't have to be ride or die best friends all the time. But if you're a stranger out in Arizona and you will need help, I'm here for you because relationships matter. You need somebody to give you that word of encouragement. So I do appreciate all those who purchased the book. Again, if you have not purchased the book, you are robbing yourself of a good read. It's a practical read, and it's very cheap. It's only $10.99. I spend that easily at Chick-fil-A. Easily. I spend it easily on Chick-fil-A. So I just really want everyone to stay encouraged, realize that relationships do matter. Relationships are important to have. And it's all relationships. It's mother-daughter, it's father-son, it's parent to children, it's sister to sister. Relationships matter. We can't, go about life burning bridges.
Yes.
You cannot burn bridges.
That's good.
I have learned, and I'm going to use this book as an example. If I burnt some of the bridges, this book would not be published.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I had so many relationships from people simply because I either supported them in something, gave a quick prayer, or hi, what's up, how you doing, a hug, to where they remembered and helped support this book. So relationships matter. You think that they don't, but they do. So we have to learn to be better. At relationships, we have to do it. Is there any other key points that anybody want to discuss?
I just like the part where you said not to burn bridges, because we definitely live in a society where they'll say, "I'll just go to the next one, on to the next," which is diminishing the value of friendship and relationships.
Right.
And no, everybody's not replaceable.
You're absolutely right.
And they even an artist has a song that says that you are replaceable. You can be replaced. And I truly believe that's a lie from the pit of hell.
It definitely is.
And I used to believe, I used to say little things like, I'll have a Jay-Z anointing and be on to the next. No. What happens when there's no more next?
Right.
Because eventually it'll end.
Right.
So I think that's so important what you said, Lardina, when you talked about not to burn bridges. So quick, I found myself getting in a disagreement with people and just be like, and keep it pushing. Well, God had to check me and say, wait a minute, you can't keep it pushing, because you may have to cross that bridge.
Right.
You may need them, and not actually just need, but you may want them in your space again. And because you did this, that, and the third, and became toxic, you ruined it.
Right.
And not every apology ends with a reconciliation.
Right.
It doesn't happen. Yes, we can forgive, but that does not mean that we reconcile. It's two totally different things. So if there's a trust that's broken to the point that you burnt the bridge down to the ground, how you gonna rebuild? When they just say, I just don't trust you anymore, or you say, I just don't trust you anymore, and keep it moving. So I just think that was just like a real valid point there. When you talk about that was really good.
Right.
There's so much to that, and I think also we have to understand that conflict will happen in relationships.
Right.
There will be disagreements. We're not going to agree on everything. And I'm going to need you to check me. If we're in a relationship, friendship, or whatever, you should be able to check me.
Right.
If you can't check the person that you're in a relationship with, it's not a valid relationship.
Right.
It's just not. That's how you grow, when people check you, because you think, oh, my lilies smell real good all the time, and they don't. Sometimes it smells like poop, and somebody needs to tell you that.
Right.
So just also really understanding that you have to be able to take constructive criticism, and you have to be able to allow people to check you in your life and tell you that your stuff stinks.
Right. and I think a lot of people don't understand that correction is needed for growth.
Right.
Like, correction is needed for growth. Like, you have to understand that. It's not always demeaning. Right. It's not always putting you down. If you're wrong, you're wrong. That's how you grow. Prime example. Okay, so if I walk over to Nicole and I slap her in the face, I'm wrong. Don't slap me in the face. That behavior is wrong. But if she doesn't say anything and I continue to slap her in the face, then what happens? She ends up becoming hurtful, and I'm still allowed to smack her in the face. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
So if somebody is continually smacking you in the face, wouldn't you want them to stop? So correction is needed. Correction is a must. I won't know that it's wrong to slap her in the face until she tells me it's wrong to slap me in the face. Like, people just don't get it. It's just wrong. It's wrong. And if somebody feels some type of way, it is our job our responsibility, especially if we want to be relational, it's our responsibility to make it right.
Yeah.
And it's not always being wrong to make it right, but just make it right. Like, my bad, I'm so sorry, I won't do that again, and then don't do it again. But if you happen to do it again,
Yes.
now I say, what's that saying? The first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. The third time should not be a third time. It should
Just a
third
fool.
time
That's
should
that.
be
Third time, you just a fool.
You're a fool, and the lesson should have been learned the second time.
Right.
But if it just so happens that you don't, and this is what creates cycles, then you literally have to change your mindset. Something is wrong with you.
Right.
If you could allow the same continuous behavior to go on, it's not everybody else, it's you. And there was a lot of times that I had to look in the mirror at myself and say, I'm no longer going to make this decision. I'm no longer going to be this type of person. I am better than this. I want to be made whole. I want to be better. I want to be healthy. This is what I'm going to do. And I had to take the necessary steps to do that. And it helps. And no relationship is perfect. You always have your disagreements, depending on the person and their personality. You might get a little more aggressive than others, but it is what it is, But if it's like overly aggressive, then okay, time out. We're not going to do this. I'm going to walk away, and we're going to come back and restart this conversation. So there's a difference between aggression and abuse.
Right.
Y'all need to learn that. Totally different than aggression and abuse, and we'll discuss that at another time at another forum. So, but in
Let me jump in.
us.
Yeah, let me jump in. Number one, and this is just for last. If you slap Nicole, she don't do nothing back, I'm looking at Nicole.
But the Bible says turn the other cheek. I don't know if I will though.
No.
Yeah. You only got 2 cheeks.
Yeah,
and
praise
she
the
slapped
Lord.
both of them. So, what's next?
He gotta grow me and stretch me, and that's
Right.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that we say we can burn bridges, but we have to remember God blesses us through people.
Yes.
that's good.
That's in the book.
That's good.
God blesses us through people.
That's
Yes.
blessed.
So our blessings come through people, and through relationships, our blessings happen.
Right.
We go to God, we pray for favor. We're praying to God to talk to a person on our behalf. So God still is talking to a person on our behalf, and we still have to face that person. Mm-hmm. So God blesses, like we say, all right, God, send an angel, talk to the angel, not talk to the angel, but talk to the person. I'm trying to get this job. Just for example, I'm trying to get this job. But you still, and God goes and does that, talks to that person. So he talks to the person already has favor, but you still have to do a part in doing. You have to interview. You have to talk to that person, and that person has to have a good enough impression of you to give you that job.
Right.
But the favor's already there. But you still had to go talk to that person, which means you had to form at least for 15 to 20 minutes that you're talking to them. You had to form at least a little bit of a relationship because due to that relationship, they're going to decide whether to hire or to go to the next person. So it's very important that you treat people the way that you want to be treated. The golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Because,
Yes.
like I said, your earthly blessings come through people. God touches people to talk to people. God touches people to do things for people. So you have to be very conscious or conscientious, as my pastor would say. Conscientious of...
That's Brown. Shout out.
you got to be conscious of how you treat people and how you do people. Like I said, you can't expect... my wife quoted me. We was having a conversation one day. She put it in the book. She quoted me, and I think I do remember having this conversation because we was talking about something, but it just happened to drop on me. Is you can't treat people any type of way and expect God's blessing to be upon you, or expect God to bless anything, and you're treating His people, no matter if you're a Christian or not. We're all His people. Mm-hmm. And I think the Bible says we're Whereas Jesus was giving a prayer. Jesus was saying, "If you've done this for the least of them, you've done it for me."
Right.
Being as though if you clothe somebody or if you gave somebody money to get something to eat, Jesus said you've done it to Himself. You've done it to Him. So people play a big part relationships between people play a big part of where you want to be and where you want to go. Each and every level of your life, you have to deal with people. You know what I mean? Whether it's the higher ups, the middles, or the lows. You know, basically entry level, intermediate, and then you got the high level. But you're still dealing with people on each and every level, and it's important on how you interact and how you deal with people, because the overall point of it is God blesses through people. All right, I'm done.
Yes. That's good.
That was good. That was real good. Yeah.
So,
There's so much.
It is.
Yeah.
For this book to be so thin, it deals with so much.
Right.
And even the order of the book, I just believe, was just orchestrated by God, and the way that you gave it out, you know, to the people for people to understand. I think it was Nicole that said the simplicity of the book is absolutely amazing.
That was me.
That was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You trying to take my shine? I said that. That was me.
I reiterated.
But I think sometimes, even in our faith and this believing thing, we get so caught up in the deepness.
Yeah. That's true.
And being so deep, we ruin relationships.
Yes.
And this book just speaks on how simple God is. And not taken away from his majesty.
Right.
But God saw fit enough to bring himself to our level. To come to, I know, I just, to bring himself down to us, to simplify, because there's no way we can begin to imagine the possibilities of what, when you think you've reached the platform of God, he opens up another room.
Right.
He tears down another veil, and it's like, oh my God.
Right.
You know, but just what Stefan was saying about the simplicity of the book, and you're just touching upon just needing people. Sometimes in this faith walk, people think that the angel going to knock on the door.
Right.
And not saying that God can't do it. But the angel, you need $20 for gas.
Right.
You asking for gas money. You think the angel will come down and give you
Part of heaven.
the big rap?
And give us the $20
Here goes the
Well, you gotta
$20.
put the theme music.
Right.
right.
And then they just float away on the cloud. It doesn't even work like that.
Right. It does not work. Does not work at all. Like I think sometimes we are just too deep. We are too deep for ourselves. Like if you honestly think about what you're saying, about what you're saying, you'll realize, oh, it ain't that deep.
Right.
It's really not that deep. And this book, I really wanted to deal with all ages. Because teenagers are affected too by relationships, by being abused or whatever, peer pressure. You know, so I wanted this book to really appeal to everybody, and I want it to be practical because I'm a practical person. Don't give me deepness because it may go over my head. I may miss it. I may feel like I'm not worthy enough to take the steps to get there. But if you give me practicality, then I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. So I wanted this book to really be comfortable, an easy read, a
Very
practical
easy
read.
Yeah.
For the readers, because I've read so many books so many times to where you, at the end of the book you're like, huh? Wait, what? Okay, never mind. You know, like you don't even know what just happened. What did I just read? Like, you know,
How can I resell this on Amazon?
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or now I'm going to use the book as, you know, my couch is a little wobbly. Right. So, you know, but I really wanted to be practical with what the message I wanted to portray, because people get it. People get practicality. They don't get the deepness all the time. And, you know, that's just, and then it's just who I am. I just want it to be simple. I'm a simple person, you know, And I really love to have people, and I love people despite the many trials and stuff that I went through in life. My desire was always to be relational to people. I love people. And, I get some people be like, and I'm about to put my sister out there, and she be like, I don't like people.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how can you not like people and you need people to get you to the next step in life? So I'm so glad that she changed that that cliche-ish, statement she always used to say, you're called to ministry, you're called to do this, you're a marketer, but you don't like people. And I used to look at her like this all the time,
I'm sorry.
like, are you serious? Like, can you think before you say something like that? And then now she finally gets it. One thing I also wanted to talk about with the title, with the one of the chapters is about forgiveness, dealing in unforgiveness. That can be a whole nother thing. But to make it simple, when you act in unforgiveness, anger, bitterness, anything toxic, hurt, is saying to the person that did something to you that they owe you something.
Right.
So you stay in this mindset of she owes me because she hurt my feelings, or she owes me, even jealousy is, jealousy have a tendency to creep up because we don't really want to deal with envy and jealousy, but that's very real emotions.
Right.
That jealousy can lead to us being mad at God. Well, God, why did you create me this way? Or why did you, why is she's making 6 figures and I'm making 2? But we have to realize that God has placed us in our own thing and developed us in our own way. He has created us to do our own purpose, to stay in our own lane, to do what we need to do, but yet and still embrace people around us. And hurt, unforgiveness, bitterness, anger, jealousy, envy, and I could keep going. Those are toxic feelings to where you are feeling as though somebody owes you something. And that's the wrong feeling to have. And then I'm saying, and we all go through this. But we have to check ourselves on a daily basis when these negative emotions come up. Because, to be honest, nobody owes us anything. Right. Nobody owes us nothing. We owe it to ourselves to have a better life. If you got a problem because Sister Flo Joe is living in a better house than you, then maybe you need to work a little harder to get it.
Right.
Maybe you need to improve your credit to get it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to stop cussing out the finance people to get it. Like, you can't walk in the bank and treat the tellers any old type of way and then expect the favor of God to land, boom, at the desk when you want a loan. Like, it just does not happen that way because people remember how you treat them. They remember how you treat them, good and bad. I have remembered, my mom tells us all the time, first impressions are important. And I didn't get it till I got older. First impressions are truly important. If you have an attitude going into an interview, check yourself. Get yourself together because you may just lose that job because you're having a bad day, a bad attitude about something. Your first impression matters. It really does. And we just have to learn that, again, stuff is not that deep. We make stuff so much deeper than what it is. It's not that deep.
I think the first part of that is really because you said it without saying it, is really just accepting responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. And when you accept responsibility over yourself, firstly over yourself, and then over the other actions that coincide with that, then you can kind of deal with yourself in a real perspective or in a real light. You know what I mean? Because we talk about relationships. The first relationship you got to have is first with God, but then you got to actually have a relationship with yourself.
Right.
Right.
And do I mean talk to yourself? Yes, I do. I'm a key component of that. I have conversations with myself daily. No. But yeah, you definitely have to have. Sometimes you really gotta, David. I encourage myself. Who else was he talking to? He said he encouraged himself. Right. So that means he had to talk to himself.
Right. Before
he did whatever he had to do, he had that talk with God. Then he probably looked in the mirror and was like, all right, David, we're going to do this. The kingdom need this. Somebody over here need X amount of sheep. Somebody over here need X amount of goats. He's taking responsibility over what he has to do, but he had to talk to himself. Get himself together. Then he went out to face the people. So in retrospect, that's the same thing we have to do as people, not just believers. Because I don't want to make this just about just Christians. No, this is for people in general.
Right.
All people.
All people.
Right.
This talks to everybody. This book seriously talks to everybody. Yes, it's Christian based, but it talks to everybody, and it can deal with everybody on every level. Mm-hmm. But take responsibility over yourself first, and then once you take responsibility over yourself first, then you can go out and deal with people because you taking that time to deal with yourself. Make sure you check yourself. Then you can go out and deal with things. Like my wife said, that bad attitude or that bad disposition may have just cost you a job. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because God may have already set that favor out and already had the angel talk to that person to give you the job, but you went in there with a bad attitude because you didn't check yourself. You probably have talked to God that day. Hey, God, I'm going blah, whatever. And then you have talked to yourself. Well, I'm just going here. I'm gonna knock it out the bag. But no, the disposition you had was funky. So that interviewer was like, your resume was impressive. You look good on paper, but when I see you, first impression, when I see you. You're not what we're looking for. Sorry, we're going to go in another way. And you got an attitude, but you forgot to check yourself that day. Mm-hmm. So yeah, take responsibility over yourself first, and then over your own actions. Everybody didn't do it to you. Mm-hmm. Everybody didn't do it to you. You did it to yourself. Some things you did to yourself. Some things you caused in life, you caused it yourself.
Oh my God.
So
that's good. That's good.
So good.
I'm gonna just drop the mic right here.
That's so good. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because I often remind myself, am I a victim or am I a volunteer? Mm-hmm. Did I sign up for this?
Yeah.
Or am I truly the victim? Right. And as you look back over your life, some stuff you actually signed up for because of your disposition, because of unforgiveness, because of toxic toxic behavior. So maybe it wasn't them. Mm-hmm. And for you to say, and I love that part in the Bible, and I don't know the address of it, when he talks about David encouraging himself. Mm-hmm. And one of the greatest things about that passage, he never quite said what he did. Mm-hmm. So that just leaves it open for us. You talk to yourself, take yourself out to dinner, you do a movie, you look in the mirror, take that bubble bath. Right. Guy never said, David did this, that, and the third, putting us in a box to how to encourage ourselves. Mm-hmm. He left it open, and Stefan had one of the great examples. He had a conversation with the man in the mirror, and moved on and went out there to the people. But I love that passage because it reminds us that it starts within ourselves. Yeah, right. It really does. It really does. But I just asked, are you a victim or a volunteer?
That's really good. I like that. I love that.
You said, you hold that.
That's going to be in part two.
You can hold that.
So what I was just going to add to that was that, the Bible says that we need to love our neighbor as ourselves. Yeah. And I think part of the problem with society is that a lot of people don't know how to love themselves, and that's it has to start there too. We have to love God, but we also have to love ourselves. Like fall in love with you and who He created you to be, so that you can then know how to properly love other people, because you do love people from the point of what you know, from the point of what you are. So if all I know is hurt and pain, that's what I'm gonna give out.
Right.
So I just think that that's another important component that we need to remember. To love ourselves so that we can properly love other people, so that we can be in those other relationships. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing from what everybody was just saying that stuck out to me is learning to give grace, because we have been given so much grace, and God has taken time to forgive us. We have to be able to give grace, and that's really something that I've been learning even in these last, I would say the last 3 years, is God's really been chipping away at me about that, how to really properly give other people grace, like grace, patience, tolerance for some things, because everything, like you said before, everything isn't I'm cutting you off and I'm done. But sometimes you need to be like, okay, wait a minute, what is the root of that?
Right.
Why are they really acting this way? Maybe what I said was a trigger to that person, and that's why they responded in that way. So just really taking more time to just give more grace in relationships, I think is just like that's really important, and you definitely get that from this book.
And I think a lot of times we forget that we wanted that same grace and that same patience when we went through something.
Right.
And then now that we overcome and we healed and we whole, we forget.
Right.
Like we really forget the process that we had to go through to become that whole and healed person.
Absolutely.
And it, even myself sometimes I look at people like, oh my God. But then God has to remind me, hey.
That was you 5 minutes ago.
That was you 5 minutes ago. Calm down. And then who have a tendency, the moment you become critical or all of a sudden I just don't understand. I just, or then all of a sudden you magically find yourself back in the situation that you was like, ooh, now I have to, let me think and let me.
Right.
Grasp my thoughts here, because now I'm back in this, humbling experience. So now I'm realizing, keeps you humble, keeps you awakened to, the process that everybody has to take. Some are shorter than others. The process, it is simply because of our understanding level and simply probably
Obedience.
Right. Wow. And then some people is not as hard-headed as others. But, to each his own. Our process is still our process. And, we still have to, keep that relationship with God tight during our process and trust and know that he's there for us and trust and know that he loves us. Even in our form of, our trying times and our correction times. Because correction is not easy, but it's a must.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a must. So, again, purchase the book, Relationship Matters. It's only $10.99. You can easily spend $11 in, well, maybe not in Target because I always go over. but $11, you can. It's a good read and it's a life-changing read.
It is absolutely.
And then you're helping build a ministry. It's a ministry. So, anything else you want to talk about? Any other points in the book? Without giving an entire book away.
I like when you were going. I'm sorry, because I'm just so excited about the book. I'm so excited.
Sorry, my book is also at CLC bookstores. You can also purchase my book at CLC bookstores in Morristown, New Jersey. Yes, I'm in a bookstore.
So one of the things. One of the things that you were just talking about, and even with Steph, there's a passage, and help me with the address. My mind just went blank. Where you were speaking about giving people grace, and one of the questions I want to pose to you guys, because so often, when you find yourself in toxic relationships, we lean back and say, well, they're going to get it together. Yeah. So they're going to get it, they'll be okay. Because I was one of those many years ago where, no, he didn't mean it. And he's going to, God loves us, so we're going to love, So what are the signs of when we say, you know what? This person has displayed bad behavior. And I think so often with relationships, we allow bad behavior to go on. So when do we say, that's bad behavior, I'm going to put you in timeout, versus when I say timeout, like I can't do this, until you actually get yourself together. And there has been people that been in my life where I said, I don't care if you showed up in a bishop robe with the chain and everything. I still cannot let you in because you displayed bad behavior. So my question to you guys is, when do grace run out? When do mercy run out when it comes to a relationship?
I don't think mercy or grace ever runs out.
Okay.
I don't think it ever runs out. I think there is a point in your life where this is where no takes effect.
Right.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that's
If you're
good.
constantly in a relationship where you are feeling belittled, voided, demised, abused, if you're constantly feeling negativity in this relationship, then you automatically know this is not for me.
Right.
And this is where no takes place. I am no longer allowing you to be in my comfort zone.
Right.
Because
That's
you
good.
can't be trusted to be in my comfort zone.
Right.
There's quite a few people that has done me dirty in the past. Done me downright dirty. And I will, if you get hit by a car today, I will run over and try to save your life. However, I will not allow you back into my comfort space because you have technically burnt that bridge. I can't, because of your actions, I can no longer allow you in my comfort space. And that's just sticking up for yourself. A lot of times we think that because we think that forgiveness means reconciliation, and that's not the
Two
case.
different things.
Oh, wow.
Forgiveness is what frees me.
Right.
It no longer holds a charge against you. It frees me.
Amen.
You don't owe me nothing. I'm good where I'm at. I'm good. But when you come to reconciliation has to do with trust.
Right.
And if I can't trust you because you are constantly doing the very thing to hurt me, then I'm sorry. I forgive you. Wish you all the best in life. But you can no longer be in my comfort zone. You cannot be in my little square, my little box, because that's too much of me and you, and I can't trust you. So we have to understand that forgiveness and trust, along with reconciliation, is 3 totally different things.
Right.
Forgiveness does not mean I'm going to jump back in the bandwagon with you and allow you to continue with your bad behavior.
Right.
That's stupid on your end. That's foolishness.
Right.
Right.
You know, and foolishness, you know, going back into a bad relationship can lead to your death. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, that's serious.
Right.
Like, no, love yourself more to get out of it, and then love yourself enough to not repeat the cycles with the next person, because cycles are true.
Yes, they are.
Cycles are very real and they happen. So I think to answer your question, you have to learn your no.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. You have to learn your no. In that case, we say not to burn bridges, but on that bridge, there's a line.
You're setting boundaries.
Right, there's your boundary. You cannot step across this line because that's a done deal. It's a done deal. You know, and there were so many relationships to where I can still treat people cordially because I have forgiven them. And like I said, if they get hit by a car, I would really, in my heart, would try to save your life. I really would. You know, but you cannot come back. You can't expect me to go out to dinner with you.
Right.
That's too much intimacy.
Yeah.
No, we can't have a cup of coffee. No, you can't be in my Relationship Matters Ministries because I can't trust you because you damaged my relationship
You
with
definitely
me.
can't handle other people.
So that's just basically understanding your no and making sure that your no means no, because no creates your boundaries.
Right.
And continually saying no, even to yourself. No, I'm not going to allow myself to continue to go down this road. No, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that. It creates boundaries within yourself, and it creates steps to lead to a healthier, better relationship.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question,
I like
no.
that was really good. I'd like to hear Stefan's point of view from a male perspective.
Well, look.
I had one thing to add after you.
Oh, okay.
You can go first.
Oh, all right. She kind of was going to say everything. She kind of stole all the thunder from me.
Your fire was lit with that question.
She put it right out.
There's not a lot I can really add. I think, the point of loving yourself to say no, that was a key point. That was one of the points I was going to bring. Love yourself enough to say no, but then have the wisdom to also keep that standard. Because one thing about people in general, we can be persistent.
Yes.
And some of us do not accept no for an answer.
Right.
Wow.
So you have to be consistently and precise when keeping your standard. If that's the line that you put out there, then they know not to cross that line. They're going to continue. Some people will accept no and be like, all right, I understand.
Right.
Now that person, you can consider reconciliation, because at least they be like, you know what? I know I did you wrong.
Right.
I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna fall back. You know what I mean? Because I really want this thing to work. So that's the person you'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna take baby steps to actually work towards reconciliation. But those people that don't take no for an answer, them the people you got to keep your standard up, because they're gonna keep.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna keep knocking.
They're gonna keep knocking. They're gonna keep coming. Oh no, you gonna be with me, or you gonna
Right.
you gonna hear what I gotta say, or you gonna accept me. This is who I am. Blah 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 blah.
911.
That's the first step you take. 911. Police don't like stalkers.
There you go.
But,
You're part of the Ministry of Removal.
Yeah.
Security.
That's the one time us black folks appreciate the boys in blue. I'm kidding. So just have the wisdom to keep your standard.
Yeah.
To keep that line crossed, and to keep that boundary set. You know what I mean? For those people that are persistent to not accept your no. And that's, like I said, she kind of stole all the thunder, but I think I could throw the little wisdom part in there. Just use the wisdom, to people out there that are watching. If you're dealing with people that won't accept your no, or that won't accept your boundary, be persistent in keeping your boundary.
Right.
You have to be persistent, because they're going to keep knocking and knocking and knocking.
Yes.
If they keep knocking, then you go to God and be like, all right, God, I need this person removed.
Right.
Not deaf.
And he'll do it.
He will do
Not
it.
deaf.
He will.
But he will remove them. He will send them somewhere else. So he'll allow something to happen, but he'll work on your behalf for that. That's it.
Before Nicole go, we have a comment from our pastor, Pastor Bernard
Pastor
Brown.
Brown!
He basically just said, please sow into the Relationship Matters Ministry. It's a blessing. So I just want to put that out there.
Oh, you must know we ain't paying tithes anymore. I'm playing.
I'm
So shout out to our pastor, Pastor Bernard Brown.
United Church of the Firstborn.
Plug it.
So after all the laughter, no, I was just gonna say, in addition to what both of you so eloquently said, I would also say, to answer your question, that it's important for the person who's in that situation to recognize the difference between compromise and losing yourself.
That's
Jesus gave me that.
I shout off beat, but
with any relationship, there's going to be some level of compromise. So you might think that, I'm just compromising for the sake of the relationship. But if you're losing yourself, then that's when it's turning toxic. And just being able to begin to recognize what that is. So anytime, like Lardina listed a whole list of things of, like, anytime you recognize that you're losing yourself, like they're belittling you, they're constantly ridiculing, they're just talking down to you. It's always about them. Any relationship where it's always about the other person and it's 99% about them and only 1% about you, because the 1% is just what you can do for them. Thank you. No. Right. That's not okay, and that's toxic, and you need to get out.
Right.
Like the movie, get out. Don't be in the sunken place. Get out.
Like,
or you'll be in a chair like,
Yeah.
Like, I just
Yo.
want to, while we're
ahead.
take a break a minute, just acknowledge some people that's commenting. Deaconess Erica from United Church of the Firstborn is there.
Hey,
Yes.
Erica, thank you.
She's saying that we're sharing great information. What? I lost her. Oh. Shantae Watson is on.
Oh,
Hey,
hey, Shantae.
Awesome. The Ministries of Anointed Movement is on commenting, which is awesome.
Great.
And how do you say her first name? Adrian. Yeah, I'm terrible with it. From Germantown Radio.
Oh, amen.
She's on, and she said,
Amen.
hey y'all, speak life, say that. So we having a lot of people giving a lot of feedback and tuning in, which is really awesome. Just want to plug a commercial. Just let them know where they can purchase your book and get involved. Make sure you know that you can comment. We are looking at the live feed. If you have anything you want to add or any questions, we're here. If it's a private question, please inbox and we'll address it without your name being tagged to it. But
Yeah. Again, my book is called Relationship Matters: Overcoming the Want to Be Alone After Hurt. It's only $10.99. You can purchase it. I do have copies on hand, I might add.
We do delivery.
Yes. No. Boundaries. You want the book mailed, you pay for the postage. Thank you. But anyway, you can purchase it on my website, relationshipmattersministries.com. Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. You can also go into CLC bookstores in Morristown, New Jersey, and purchase a tangible copy of the book for $10.99. So it's there's no reason why you can't buy this book. We are on Instagram at Relationship Matters 17. We're on Google Plus at Relationship Matters. We're on Facebook at Relationship Matters.
Twitter.
We're on Twitter at Relationship Matters. You can find me under Relationship Matters. I'm even on the Google search. If you Google my name, I am there. If you Google my book, it is there. So I am there. So please help purchase a book. Help support the ministry of Relationship Matters, because relationships do indeed matter. So I just want to
add one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
A
okay.
comment. They're blowing you up.
Bring the comments. Let's go.
We have Erica Whitehead, which is a deaconess at
Okay.
our church. She said, "Hey family, keep spreading the wisdom." So we're giving good stuff. So keep pouring. We actually have a Tamika that she invited, and if I'm saying the name wrong, I apologize. That Erica invited in. So she's tuning in too. So we want to shout out Tamika for taking the time
Tamika,
out
thank you.
to tune in. Please, if you have anything you want to add, any questions, or even private, leaving a comment, anything that's private, put it in the inbox, and we'll definitely address it if we don't have the time, because we're in the second hour now. If we don't have the time, she will address it later and inbox you back. But definitely, I think the best thing to do is to purchase the book, because it is amazing. For it to be 100 and some odd pages is
Half of that.
half that.
Yeah, half that.
It's definitely one of those things that's a giant in a small package.
Right.
So definitely sow into yourself.
Yeah.
And don't just give the
You
book
deserve
away.
it.
Buy one for you, buy one for your friend, and open up the discussion and leave it on the fan page or on the support page, so we can open up discussion, so you can prepare yourself for the next book that is to come. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to plug you in.
Leave reviews.
Yes, leave reviews,
Absolutely.
please.
If you have purchased the book, please leave us a review so we can, we're encouraged by the reviews. So, leave reviews. The thing I wanted to jump back on, I wanted to piggyback on what Nicole was saying. Two words came up. Two words: manipulation and control.
Yes.
And those are two of the character traits of a toxic person. Manipulation, because what they do, they use their words to manipulate.
It's in the book.
It is.
They use words to manipulate. They use actions. They use anything that they know I can't talk. Anything that they know that they can use to get you back within their grasp, they'll use it. So watch out for people that are very manipulative, and then they're also controlling in the same breath. So love yourself enough to recognize it, set that boundary, and I'll always keep a no in your spirit. It will bless your life.
Your life.
Yeah, well.
It's surprise break.
Right. And it starts off subtle. I think that's another thing that you have to keep in mind, because people think that like you're going to automatically recognize somebody that's manipulative, like they're going to walk up with a T-shirt that says "I'm a manipulator." Like they're not.
Although they have those T-shirts, they have those novelty tees out there. They have them.
That's crazy. But it does start subtly, and then the more I don't want to say slack. That's not the word I wanted to say. The more you give them, the more they'll take.
The more they'll take.
So that's how that starts to grow. So that's why it's, again, so important that you start recognizing those signs early. Like, wait a minute, that don't feel right. That's not, no.
Right.
So I'm sorry, just to interject. We have a Brooke Love that's commenting on here. First, she says, "Hi, always looking for information that is spiritually based." She wants to know the name of the book, so please let her know the name of the book and where she can find it. She just started to tune in. Okay. Her name is Miss Brooke Love.
Hi, Brooke Love. The book is Relationship Matters: Overcoming the Want to Be Alone After Hurt. This book deals on relationships of all types, not just romantic relationships, but all relationships. It deals with unforgiveness and why relationships are important, why they matter. You can purchase this book on my website at relationshipmattersministries.com. You can also purchase it at amazon.com, barnesandnobles.com. If you're in the New Jersey area, you can go to Morristown, New Jersey, to CLC bookstores. They have tangible copies there that you can purchase. And then you can just follow my page, or if you happen to bump into me in a crowd, I have a book on hand. So please support the book. And then let me know what you think. Leave your reviews. You can personally talk to me, whatever you want to do. So that's how you get the book.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Brooke Love. We still have a lot of people tuning in and liking and loving and laughing, which is awesome. So.
One of the things I want to interject really quick is I think as a people and as a society, we've forgotten the importance of reading. Period.
Yes.
Reading. We all know the saying, reading is fundamental.
Yes.
And it is. It's very key. It helps you. I mean, I know that we have audio books now where you can just put your headphones in and have the book be read to you. But it's something when you're reading the book and then your imagination gets to take over. You can actually start to see yourself and see what's going on. So purchase a physical copy if you can. It's just a good read to have. I mean, like I said, it's a phenomenal read. Not just because she's my wife and she's the author, but just because I didn't pick up reading. I think this is just a male thing. I didn't pick up reading until later on in life anyway. It was after I got out of high school and all that. Because, reading is very important. And I'm a visual reader. So, when I was reading this book, I actually started to visualize the situations in my life that took place. And where this book helped me, to kind of see some things and where I kind of messed up, or where I was like the toxic person or the one that was being filled up with toxicity. So, just to kind of just cap that off, buy a physical copy and read it. Really take the time to sit down and really read it. I'm the type of person that I need everything quiet when I'm reading. Some people can read with music on. I'm not the type of person. I need everything quiet. Like, if I'm reading, don't knock on the door. Don't come in there being loud, because I'm going to give you the look.
Yes, he will.
Just before you interject, because I don't want to lose, because you're starting to get a lot of people to, which is awesome. But Brooke Love, she says that is the book spiritually based, and in the past she did reside in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Now she's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
So wow, shout out to Milwaukee. So that's her question. So if you want to answer what Miss Brooke Love says about is it spiritually based?
Yes, the book is spiritually based, but it's not deep. I do give a major example with God relationship with Adam as well with his disciples. So it is biblically based. I do have some encouraging scriptures to back up my chapters. But I didn't want to bring it too deep. So, because I'm not a deep Christian. So, yes, it is biblically based to answer your question. And I do make several examples about Jesus and God. And I do deal with Adam as well as Paul in the book. So, yeah, get to read. It is biblically based. So, it's going to give you that spiritual nutrition that you need. But yet, it's going to give you the natural necessity that you need as well. Because like I said, I don't believe in the deepness. God is not deep. God is very practical. He's very loving. And he's very clear and concise. And I wanted to make sure that in this book, I follow the attributes of my Father. So he's very clear, concise, and to the point. And that's what this book is. So thank you all the way from Milwaukee.
Yay! That's awesome. Also, too, Brooke Love should comment back. Great, may God get the glory. So thank you so much.
Yes,
appreciate that. And then we have Adrian. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying you out in Packertown now. I'm a football guy, so I'm a football guy.
So we have Adrian from Praise Alleluia, Germantown Radio. She says, "Oh man, we could have had y'all on the show." So we said, "I was going to say we accept the invite." We accept the invite. So get your people to call our people, and we can definitely make it happen.
Yes, I would love that.
They do a phenomenal show over there on Saturdays mornings. I think it's from 10 to 12, something like that. So absolutely. So if that's an invite, we take it.
Yes.
And go from there. And then we have Erica Whitehead that says it's easy to read and to understand. Yes. So that's just basically when you first shot out the gate, the simplicity of the book.
Yeah,
so,
I really think that, like I said, we live in a microwave society, so everybody wants it easy and fast, and this is the quite definition of easy and fast. Right. But as like I said, like the word that's been floating around is power pack. Right. It's very power pack. Like I said, I have a little bit of a bias because it's my wife, but like I said, I am a reader. So anything, I need something to grab me. And from day one, even reading through the manuscript before the book was out, when she was like, "Hey, read the book. Tell me about this. Read it. What's your thoughts? What's your like? Oh my God, do I need to change this? Excuse me. Need a water break."
While you take the water break, just want to. Brooke Love says, "I will go online today to purchase." So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please make sure when you do purchase and you read that you leave feedback concerning the book either on Facebook or Google or even Amazon if you purchase it Amazon way. You do have a website. You didn't mention your website where you can purchase the book too.
Yes.
So let them know where your website is.
Yes. My website is what is it? Because my website is I had a slight bougie moment. Like continue.
No, you're gonna say your own website.
Oh, okay. All right. So I gotta do the work. So my website is relationshipmattersministries.com. You can purchase the book on there. Relationshipministries.com. Relationshipmattersministries.com. All one word.
Also, too, we have Phyllis Jones that's on the line. She says it's really uplifting, and she's very proud of working.
Oh, great!
So thanks for tuning in, Phyllis.
Thank you,
Phyllis. We appreciate that. That's one of the deaconesses at our church. Deaconess Phyllis.
Thank
you. We have Vonnie Green saying hi. Say hi to her as well. I want y'all, if you could, because Phyllis Jones mentioned that the book is really uplifting. Can y'all kind of piggyback on that? How it's uplifting and where, and definitely let them know where they can find it. We're in the last half hour of it, so.
The book is simply uplifting because it challenges you to do better. It challenges you to do better. It makes you recognize the areas where you lack. It brings attention to yourself, and it makes you want to get better. I cannot say that I serve a God who's an uplifter and then write a book that completely goes opposite or contrary to that. So I do appreciate the comments that it is uplifting people, that it is encouraging, and that it is changing their lives. It makes me honored. It makes me honored because I always wanted to just help people. That's always what I wanted to do. And I will find it robbery for the people that helped me get out of my junk to not give back. So I really wanted to give back. And sometimes I'm not a person that can formulate all my words correctly. And I just thank God, one of my gifts was just writing. I can always just write it out. Like I have journals beyond journals beyond journals to where I just write stuff. Like my phone is completely filled at capacity because I just write. I write how I feel.
She just want a new phone.
If you increase the book sales, I can get it. But yeah, I just it's really good to know that people are saying that it is uplifting. Writing the book actually encouraged me to continue because it made me reflect on myself and made me realize how far I came. Because I was so far deep down in the pit that I didn't even realize I was able or had the capacity to get out. I thought that I would always be where I was stuck at. But God is so awesome. He's so faithful. He's so loving because he loved me enough to correct me in my wrong, but yet pull me out. So I just want to be able to share my experiences with people. And, you know, I dare not say that I'm completely 100% there with relationships, but I want people to know that I'll always have an encouraging word. I will always be uplifting. That's just who I am. And I hope that I portray that in this forum. Even if you've never met me, I hope I can portray the love and encouraging that I just want and I just have the desire to give to people, because the world is a better place when we know who we are and we stop operating in hurt. This world is so sinful because we are self-minded and we are operating always in hurt and in just all types of other negative capacity. And you know, I'm the type of person, let's share a little bit more love, a little more encouraging word. Let's uplift our sisters. Let's uplift our brothers. Let's hold each other accountable in love. And let's do this. Let's do this thing called life, because we're not meant to be alone. We're really not. I don't like to be alone. I mean, I like my quiet time and my alone time, but I don't like to be alone. I really love to hang out with my friends. I love to hang out with well, I'm a business owner, so I don't have any colleagues yet because they're my friends. But y'all get it. I just love being with people. And, you know, I'm really glad that the book is encouraging and uplifting.
I'm sorry. The comments is really...
Oh,
really...
keep them coming. I'm ready, y'all. Y'all got me sweating.
We have
Woo!
our Sharita, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Is it Brentley?
Brentley, Brittley.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a Sharita Brentley that Erica shot out that's tuning in. So say hi to her.
Amen. Hi, Sharita.
Brooke Love comments again and say yes, Lord.
I love you, Brooke. I'm
all the way from Milwaukee, which is so awesome.
I am going to stalk you in Milwaukee. You have a new friend.
That's
Send
awesome.
me pics. Send me pics,
Awesome,
girl.
awesome. Especially when she gets the book, let us see it.
Yes.
We have Vonnie Green that's on the line, which I want you to piggyback on that, because that's a long-term relationship there. And I think maybe 20 plus years. So, and I know, and not to tell, you know, any of her business or anything like that, but I know that we all go through bouts of life, and life has us. And one of the things that I noticed with Vonnie, and I commend her, with, and if I can't use you, just punch me later. But I'm gonna use you because I think it's just so encouraging how she is the epitome of what relationship is. Mm-hmm. Because one of the things I've learned from her is that when you're going through, she's reaching out.
Yes.
She's understanding that she can't do this alone, that I have to reach out and get someone else that I trust involved in what I'm going through. So if y'all could, because we haven't heard from Nicole in a while, she's just been like the laughter. If we could address when we're going through something, how to reach out to people that you trust, because I think one of the things, and I found in the book too, of when you are in distress, it's not good to be by yourself.
Right.
And they give this cliche-ish in church stuff. You know how they say, the devil will pick you off if you lead a pack. And I'm picking on him because he's so church. He got the shot perfected and everything. So and even though that been cliche as we grew up and be in church, it's the truth. So just briefly, because I got a whole bunch more comments to tag in on, briefly just talk about how that we can reach out to people that we trust that is in relationships when you are going through.
Okay. Well, I believe you talk about this in the book. It's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
And then if you're unsure of who to go to, ask God.
Right.
He'll tell you who you can trust and who you can confide in and who will really be there for you. And if you feel like you're too weak to even utter the words out of your mouth to say to the person, please come help me, ask God to do it for you, and he will. There's been several times in my life, even with Lardina, specifically, where I've been going through, and I'm the person that retreats. I'm there for everybody else, but when it comes to me and I'm going through, then if I start disappearing, you better come check on me.
Right.
And Dina will do that. And it's awesome to know that even when I feel like I'm at my lowest, or I'm alone, or no one's caring about me, God will place me on someone's heart and they'll reach out. So just to keep in mind that it's okay to ask for help. Say, look, I'm going through, I don't even have the words, but I need. And especially if the person is a Christian, a believer, that has discernment and actually really prays for you.
Yes.
To have somebody that can really touch heaven with their prayers for you is important.
Yes.
So really just even as we're talking about relationships, make sure you see God formulate my relationships for me. Because I'm not good at picking them for myself. If I do it myself, I'm not going to get it right. But you know everybody's heart. You know who's a good fit for me. And begin to knit me with the right circle of people who can really pour into our life. And so we can all do kingdom together. Because when you're a believer, it's all about this kingdom work. And you want to be able to be with people who are going to help, cultivate your purpose and your destiny. And I want to be able to do life with the right people.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to take that wall down and say, I need help.
Right.
Put up that signal. Put up that Superman signal, that Batman flare.
And I want to say also, if you're in a healthy relationship with somebody, they should be able to pick up you. I could pick up Nicole. I could pick up my sister. I could definitely pick up my husband. When you have that intimacy with somebody, and get your mind out the gutter, but when you have that relationship with somebody, that intimacy, where you know their ins and their outs, then you should be able to pick up on when they're feeling low, when they're distancing themselves. And a good friend don't allow them to distance themselves. Because I'm quick in a heartbeat. Like, you want to go out to eat? You want to get some coffee? I'm broke. She broke. Let's go to Target and pretend we don't walk around and buy it. Right? Target is our place to shop. And, that's what we do. And the simple commune. Just like last night, we communed with each other. And we was like, oh, I missed you because I've been working and, dealing with my book issues. And I just really didn't have time with my friend, and I missed her. So last night after youth Bible study, yes, youth Bible study at my church. I'm the leader there.
Third Fridays.
Third Fridays, bring your children out from the ages of 8 to 19. We are discussing the topic of peer pressure right now.
And Erica did actually mention that on the timeline. Erica's a beast. She says you're the youth leader teacher and you're wonderful with the kids.
Thank you so much. So even after youth Bible study, the simple task of driving downtown to pick up a lamp was just what we needed. You know, I gotta tell you this story. So let me tell y'all this story. She almost killed us all. My friend, like, I had to really check her last night because she almost let me die.
She gonna tell that part.
No, but we was talking, we was driving and laughing, and I had this chocolate bar with this awesome caramel sauce. It was just completely awesome. So I'm choking. I'm seeing heavily of heavens. I saw the stars, and I'm driving. She talking about she tried to save my life. I'm patting on my back. Oh, I'm being emotional. I'm emotional. Sorry. But I'm driving downtown in traffic, and I'm like, coughing. And she's in the seat like,
first of all, I was praying. That's one. Secondly, I did rub her back while it was happening. Third, I said, baby, you need to open your mouth and cough up all the way. Instead of she tried to do a little petite cough at the wheel. And I was like, no, open up your mouth and cough.
First of all, I couldn't really cough because my brain just wouldn't let me. It was terrible, but that was just a fun moment that we had that, you know, I could joke with her, and I was like, that wasn't a true friend because I was dying. You know.
But did you live? Did you live?
I mean, she said she was praying. I don't know about the prayer.
I think that's funny. I don't know, because we have a lot of comments I want to address. I don't know if Steph wanted to add it onto that, and then we can go to the next comment.
I do have insurance, so so we would have been paid. No, real quick, you know, so we can get to the comments. Number one, pride is a killer. Pride is the thing that will make you hold back, because pride will say, I don't need nobody, I can do it by myself.
Pride will make you die alone.
Pride will make you die alone. Like I said, number two, you need people. We said this earlier in the video. You need people. God designed us to be relational with people. Thirdly, I think I lost my point. Lord have mercy. But you did. You need people. You need people. Pride will kill you. You have to reach out when you're hurting, or when you're in the distressful moment. It's better to reach out. These ladies have already said it. You know, people are praying for you. People need to hear from you. So reach out. I mean, that's the best. When you're down and out, that's the best place to reach out, because somebody always has their hands out to help you, but if you don't reach out, you will never know. Silent sufferers. Don't be a silent sufferer.
Yes.
Thank you. Silent sufferer. And I think this is more for the men, because we hold everything in. You know what I mean? And instead of letting it out, because, you know, my wife and, you know, my sister, oh, you just need to talk. And that's just not how we are. We don't do that. I mean, we go with our boys. We may talk to our boys, but, you know what I mean? And that's just general conversation. It ain't really about what we really going through.
Right.
But you always need those people, you know, that you have a trust. You know, you got an outside circle, then you have your immediate circle. Reach out to your immediate circle whenever you're going through. People that you know you trust with your issues, reach out to them, talk to them, because they, like I said, God has already more than likely, He's already put something in their spirit for you, and it may just, you reaching out just may be the deliverance you need, because that person or persons may have the very thing that God had told them to tell you, you know, just to bring you out your rut. So pride is a killer. Don't sink in. You know, reach out. Don't sink. Reach out.
Amen.
Amen.
And that's a point that I made in my book about reaching out, because you cannot overcome anything that you're facing in life by yourself, and you never know just by simply reaching out what somebody else has been through,
Right.
and just realizing that their testimony in itself and how they made it can change your life. I mean, I live off testimonies. My encouragement is through testimonies from so many people. It's just how we keep going. So back to the comments.
Just to say, Bonnie said it was okay to share.
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie.
She said thanks, and Bonnie also mentioned y'all helped me so much, and now I'm crying. Thanks.
Aww.
So and
Man
that
up.
and that's a relationship that's been in existence for 20 plus years. So just not only does it speak volumes of the book, it speaks a volumes of your lifestyle, because this is someone that seen myself and you go through and still maintain that relationship with her. So you're not just sitting in this couch and your husband's not sitting next to you just spouting off words. There's actually substance to what you're doing with this in life. So I just want to just commend you on that. And she'll attest to it. It's 20 plus. I want to say hi to Delilah Christmas. She's watching.
Hi, Delilah. Hi, Dee.
And we have a Lakeisha Pender. Am I saying-
Oh, hey, Keisha.
She said hi guys with a heart emoji. She says thanks for writing the book at a time where I was questioning myself because of toxic people that was in my life. After reading, I know now how to deal with certain people.
Wow.
So that right there is amazing. So can we touch on what Lakeisha? She's still viewing. Can we touch on what Lakeisha just mentioned? That's deep. That's like like she hit that thing. So can we get involved with a small conversation, because time is really starting. You probably need an 8-hour show because time is starting to get with us. So just please touch on
before you start, shout out to the cameraman. Jay back there holding it down for us.
Steady.
9 off and all. Hold it down. Camera like, that's all you see in the back. Hold it down.
That's my son. That's the cameraman.
That's
so
my
awesome.
nephew. Great soda in the building. I love my nephew. You know that.
And even though with that, just touching with Jaron with the relationship, he has an amazing relationship with his uncle and his aunt. I mean, you'll call him and he'll get out the bed for you faster than you get out the bed for me. So that just attests to what the relationship matters. You know, with my son and different things and stuff that he's been through in his life, and you guys were there. And that just attests to the relationship. But shout out to him. Back to what Lakeisha had mentioned. If do you need me to reread it, or do y'all want to go ahead? Yeah, talk about toxic.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yeah.
Took me all the way up. I think that another thing that really comes from the book, and just even in relationship with y'all, is consistency. Consistency is so important, and even to Vonnie, just showing that the distance, the length of the relationship is because of the consistency that comes from you guys. So just also, that's something that we should all strive for, is to just be consistent in your relationships across the board. You don't have to be a chameleon and be different, you know, this way one place, this way another place. I'm this way in church, I'm another way at school, I'm another way at work. Be consistent.
Because people will snuff you out.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. They will see right through that.
Consistent on social media. Like, I don't understand people who make up fake pages and stuff. That's another story. But just be consistent. Be consistent.
Steph, if you want to talk about Lakeisha's comment of toxic people and how she cleaned them up and the book
I'll
helped.
let the author, but
I mean, either one.
Toxic.
You are one. My book is your book.
How to deal with I'm gonna defer to the author.
Do you
First
want me
of
to
all,
reread it, or?
yes, reread it.
Okay, so she just says, "Hello guys, heart emoji. Thanks for writing the book at a time where I was questioning myself because of the toxic people that was in my life. After reading, I know how to deal with certain people." So if you could just touch on that briefly so we can move, because we got about 10 comments after this.
Okay. So I'm so glad, first of all, I'm so glad that the book helped you. I'm so glad that it actually came to a point where you thought it helped in your time of need. So thank you for that. Thank you for the comment. I truly, truly appreciate it and love it. You know, the book states about toxic people. We have to realize that there are toxic people in this world. We cannot negate from them. We can't escape them, but we don't have to deal with them. So it's important that with toxic people, we recognize the characteristics that they have. We have to recognize who they are, what they possess, and what they mean. Once you understand those things, then you know how to put them again in their box. They don't have to be in your comfort zone. And there's sometimes that with, you know, especially with relationships, I'm quick to say get rid of them because that's an intimate space. But you can't get rid of toxic people if they're your coworker. So how do you deal with a toxic person, you know, and you have to work with them.
Right.
You literally have to deal with them with boundaries.
That's it.
Point blank period. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. You have to be consistent with your no. You have to say, this is the line. You better not cross it, because if you cross this line, there will be repercussions of your actions. You know, so, you know, that's important to know that even though a toxic person, we think toxic people in a relationship, like romantic or intimately, that's not always the case.
Right.
That's not always the case. You can have a supervisor that's toxic. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with them without losing your job?
Right.
You know, you literally have to do your boundaries. You have to be consistent with your no, and you have to just let them know, like, this is where you're going to park, and this is where you stay.
Let me take that a step further and address, because the book is spiritually based, address how do you deal with toxic people in the church. When you're supposed to go into this building where it's supposed to be a safe place, but you still encounter people that haven't yet been delivered. That's how I'll say it. Or working through their own struggle, but you also know that they're toxic and they're not going to help you in your struggle. So address real quick, because we got about 20 comments after that one, about how, because I think it's important, because sometimes we don't talk about the tough things inside of church, and we get this mask that church is perfect when it's far from it. It's a melting pot of people trying to go the same way, but not every time we're all not going the same way. So go ahead and address that.
Before you, just real quick. Like I said before about the boundary, when you're dealing with a toxic person, and they can continue to, you gotta, sometimes you really gotta let these people know, yo, don't cross this boundary. You liable to get punched in the face. If you cross
We
this
don't
boundary.
advocate violence. We don't advocate violence.
Look, yes, I'm a minister, but listen, look, we deal with real life every day. And sometimes turning the other cheek don't always work. No, I'm kidding. It does work. That's the Bible. It works. Because if you turn the other cheek, God will give you
Let's
the grace.
just say you have to remember that everybody is not there.
Yeah.
Everybody's not there.
Thank you.
My pastor is famous for saying, I'm only a second from going back. I've come a long way, but something may trigger me without the help. If I don't have the help of God, something may trigger me to go back.
Right.
So, you know, you might be tempted to sock them in the face. And with toxic people,
I can't deal.
with toxic people, even in the church, you have to let them know. You have to call a spade a spade.
I'm on to you.
I'm on to you. I'm going to call a spade a spade.
Right.
Everybody else may not see what you do, but I do. So every time you do
That's
it,
good.
I'm going to call you on
That's
it.
good.
Yeah.
Like, if
That's
you're a
good.
consistent liar, I'm going to let you know that you're consistently lying to me.
Right.
And because you consistently lie to me, you can't be trusted, and everything that you say out your mouth is not truth. Until you have proven to me that you can be truthful.
Right.
Like, you literally have to deal with them with who and what they are.
Yeah.
Like,
That's good.
it's foolish to say there has somebody in the church with no financial experience counting the money.
Right.
Well, if you don't have financial experience to count the money in the church, and you done got evicted, and your cars done got repoed, and you got zero money in your account, and you show no progression in your finances at home,
And you don't pay tithes.
why are you counting my church's money?
And you don't pay tithes.
And you don't pay tithes. Then that means you're cursed. and you're
There you
breathing
go.
over my
Oh,
dollar bill,
right.
and it can't be blessed. It can't be sown into the proper thing.
That's it.
I really believe that everything has its order, and everything must be done in order. And I'm sorry to say, but if you are a toxic or hurtful person, maliciously,
Right.
then you can't be a leader because you're leading other hurt people. Like you're
Wow.
leading the pack
Right.
to demise
through the
people.
filter of your
Through the
hurt.
filter. Thank you.
Oh,
Hurt.
And-
that's good.
It's the saying is hurt people hurt people.
Yes, and that's
happens
very
in leadership
Y'all are
in
dropping
church,
some
too.
great nuggets.
yes,
there.
and
Wow.
your whole perspective of life. Like, don't tell me how to live a joyous and a, oh my God, overwhelming blessed life if you're down in the gutter.
Right.
Like, don't do that to me. I don't
Right.
want to be in a gutter. I want to be on the mountaintop.
Right,
Like, show me how to get this. Show me how to make it to the promised land.
right.
You know, Martin Luther King Jr., if he wasn't the leader that he was, we would not be able to be walking in freedom or what we are today. Like, people really have to, you need to fix the camera. That's what she's saying. Thank you. So, you know, so toxic people, we have to
I'm
understand.
sorry. Derek Green says the cameraman fell asleep. I love him. Shout out to Super.
So yeah, even with the church, you have to deal with them for who they are. Like
Yeah.
we don't. I mean,
Ooh.
if God always dealt with the Pharisees in the Bible. He called them for who they
They call it to
are.
the carpet.
He called. I mean, he flipped tables and sit. Like really.
I think it was it had to be the enemy that perpetuated this lie that you ain't gonna get offended in church. Like, that is such a lie. Like,
It's a lie.
You will get offended. Jesus offended people all the time. I don't know why people think that you're not gonna offend people. But it's how you deal with the offense when it happens.
Right.
That, you know, is how you begin to move forward, or you become stagnant. Because you say this a lot, that staying offended is a choice. Being offended is not your choice, and I'm getting tongue tied now. That might come to you, but it's your choice whether or not you're going to stay offended.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and the word tells you how to deal with it.
Right.
If you have an ought with your brother, you go to them. Go
them.
directly to them, and don't wait 15 months before you say something. Go to them right away. Or if you need, like, okay, I may need a couple days to process before I do go to them, but go to them and deal with them. And then if it's still not something that can be resolved, then the word says, get two witnesses.
Two witnesses.
There we go.
But we failed to do that. We
Right.
failed to operate her, and then we just gonna hold on to it.
Right.
And then when we do try to confront it, we still don't go to the person. We go to two witnesses,
Right.
and chart and tell them our perspective or our side of the story, and you get blindsided
Right.
when the witnesses and the person you supposedly offended come to you, and you're like, "What just happened?"
Yeah, what happened? Right.
Like, that's totally not
Right.
fair. I mean, can
Backwards
we
and
all
it's out of order.
Right, it's out of order and it's backwards. Let's do everybody a favor. If I have offended you, come to me directly. Like, it's not that deep. People make stuff hurt people make stuff so much deeper than what it is, because your perspective of life and the hurt just changes everything. When you're hurt, everything is hell and damnation. Everything is glim and oh my God, I'll never do this, I'll never do that. But if you choose to just deal with the issue,
Deal with it.
it's okay.
Right.
It's okay to deal with the issue.
It is.
It's okay to say you stepped on my foot. Like,
Right.
my foot hurts.
And then I say, oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And we're done.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know the great thing about all of this, and you know, and I love that with the fact that we're throwing the word in there, and the key focus, even with the scripture that Nicole said, go to your brother. The Bible specifically deals with people.
People's.
That's good.
People.
So
If you have an ought with your brother, go to your brother.
Right.
People, relationships,
There it
and
goes.
all comes together. Yeah, this book is all that. Like, there's nothing else that needs to be said.
And then you have to understand that God, when he manifested himself on this earth, he could not do his ministry without his 12 disciples.
Right.
He had to have relationships.
12.
He had to have people. And he had 12. So
12 men all together with all their own issues and their
Yes.
schisms and everything. And he dealt with all of them.
and he never cast him out. He dealt with them.
All right,
That was-
I just want to move forward.
Okay, sorry.
Because we could talk about that for 22 hours. First, I want to say hi to Melissa Allen. She's on watching, which is awesome.
Hi, Melissa.
Terry Neely, which is our elder.
Oh, hi,
at
Elder
the United
Terry.
Church of the Firstborn. She's there. She also comments, so I'll get to hers as well. And then, of course, Derek Green just tuned in, and he's commenting as well. But I want to address what Brooke Love said. She said, okay, to my last post, laugh out loud. It was like a few
Keep it coming, girl.
moments ago. But she said someone shared this to our page, Spiritual Recovery Sisters and Brothers, which is now have over 200 members.
Wow.
So they shared this live to their page.
Oh, wow.
With 200 members attached to their. So shout out to Spiritual Recovery Sisters and Brothers.
Amen.
Shout out to that
Yes.
ministry.
Spiritual
We
recovery.
definitely keep you in prayer
Yes.
and all 200 members, and we pray for increase and
Yes.
abundance in that ministry, because definitely just by the words, the title of the ministry alone just seems like it's so much needed.
Yes.
Then we have Erica again. She's a beast. She said her daughter-in-law just tuned in. Shabaka Andrews, Sobka. Did I say that right?
I think so, yeah.
Sobaka. I'm sorry.
Sobaka.
You think I would be better with the name Lardita? I'm working on it. And then Erica just shout out to Brooke Love, saying she shared it. Blessings to Brooke, which is awesome. And Brooke, you've definitely interjected a lot of great things all the way from Milwaukee. We love you, definitely.
Thank you.
She said Brooke just said her cousin Janine is watching right now, so
Hi,
shout out to
Janine.
Brooke Love,
Hi.
her cousin. My cousin Janine and I have that type of relationship. She must be talking about the togetherness and things like that. And Bonnie called us all OGs. So that's awesome. Then you have Derek Green interjecting saying, what happened, what I missed.
Start from the beginning.
Right? And then he says, I need to get you guys book. Congrats. It's going to help me pick up hot chicks.
That's
He said, asking for a friend. He said, it's going to help me pick up hot chicks. Asking for a friend. I can't. That's just his sense of humor. We've been friends with him for
long time.
over 10 years. And just shout out to him and check out his live feed with him and his
Cooking
wife.
with Green.
Cooking
Cooking with Green.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely, I've tuned into that. They do an awesome job. And
Healthy alternative, a lifestyle of living, man. It's
right,
good for us.
yeah,
Good.
and they're definitely a couple that has a lot of chemistry
Oh, yeah.
and relationship, and you can tell that they truly love one another, and they truly invest in their relationship as a
Yes.
married couple. I know you wanted to get that to the day, but
Next
you're gonna have to
day.
have another part.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, Brooke Love's comments back again," and she says, "Great info." Regarding the church members, that's awesome. Okay, it wasn't from my last post, but I couldn't help myself. It wasn't my last post. I couldn't help myself. Keep it coming, Brooke. We love the fact that
Yes.
you're developing a relationship with
Yes.
Gardena,
Yes.
with the book, so which is awesome. Derek Green also comments again. Also, everyone is not going to be willing to change. Sometimes you need to take your power back.
Yes.
For those that wish to offend.
Yeah.
Don't let everything cause a reaction from you.
Right.
Depower the words that do not uplift. Wow.
High
That's
five.
good.
Wow.
Yes.
And then he says again, words have power.
Yes.
God created the world with words.
Words.
And
Yes.
that's so key. Because
Yeah.
people that words don't hurt.
That's
You
a
know,
lie.
They do the
That
most.
is a lie.
They do the most
He
hurt.
spoke the world into existence.
Yes, he did.
So that is the lie straight from the pit of hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I even said, there's a part in my book where I said, if you feel like you gotta spew hell out your mouth, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
You
Right.
need to shut up because words matter.
Yeah.
You
And he
know,
also finishes his thought by saying, but we also have to inverse power as beings made in his image to negate the power of words. Then he says yes. So I think that too with about, well, we're on the hour. So if we could wrap up, I think I hit everybody.
You said we were going back to other school.
Oh, I think she got. I thought thought she commented. Hold on, let me see. Yes, how did I skip her? I'm sorry, Elder Terry, Terry Neely, which is our elder. She commented saying, "This just blessed me tremendously."
Oh,
Awesome.
amen.
I love you guys.
Amen.
Oh, Varney shout out her godson, which is the cameraman. That fell asleep. And then we have Lakeisha saying that this is so good.
Amen.
So just saying, one, this is our pastor was on earlier. I'm sorry, I keep being in your space.
All right.
Our pastor was on earlier in the show, and then now our elder is on earlier in the show, and both of them basically are saying the same thing, that the ministry is a blessing, and the ministry is reaching, and they're very proud of who you have become to be and who you guys are as a married couple. So in the last 5 minutes, and then we have to wrap up and go, and definitely we'll get another one up.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome. So just wrap up, and I guess, do you want everybody to give a small point, or do you just want to just take it home?
I'm not sure. You know, I like to share.
So let's start with your husband, because he had a lot of great people still commenting.
Keep them coming.
So Derek says we're going to eat strawberries, though.
It's some right over there, Derek.
So Stefan, if you could kind of wrap up the final book in a nutshell without giving too much away. And again, the book is small, but it gives a lot of information. So if you could, and then Nicole, if you could, just give a wrap up, and then Dina, you can lead us out, and definitely let them know where you can find the book.
Well, it started back in 1981.
Oh, wait, before you say that, I'm sorry. People are still, we will cut him off. Because I'm questioning his relationship. But we have a commenter saying, Terry, our elder, she says, when the next live feed? So people are definitely...
Yeah, the next live feed, I am definitely shooting for May. I would like to have it once a month, so we're definitely shooting for May to be the next forum. If you have any questions up until then, or any ideas, suggestions, let me know. You know how to reach me. So we definitely will be doing this again probably next month. I'm already committed to being consistent with it, because I know it helps people. And I want to continue to be a blessing, as well as a supportive method for people. So yes, most definitely. Look for us next month. The May, I will, get all the information you need on my page, Relationship Matters. It will keep you updated on our events, and just whatever you may need, it's up there.
Okay, so we got about 4 minutes left. Starting with Steph, and then go over to Stefan.
I'm a little offended that I was ready to get my whole spill.
We need to talk about that later.
Oh, and Terry says, yes, God.
Yes,
That's
yes.
awesome. So you are on the counter. You got
You got 30 seconds.
All right. Now, in a nutshell, this book has impacted me. Like I said, I'm not biased, but the book overall, from chapter 1 to chapter, I believe, 5 or 6, it's thank you, 6. And it's been very impactful. It deals with just relationship as a whole. Not, like I said, not just romantic. Because first thing you hear when you hear relationships is automatically romantic. No, relationships on every level, from the basic level to the business, to the friendship, to the ministry, to corporate, all of it. Like I said, you need people. Basically, that's the whole nutshell of this book. You really need people.
Yes.
And you can't advance in this life alone. You need people. God made it so that you need people. I'm done.
What?
Oh, I know how to bring it in.
Power packed is all I can really say. This book is power packed. It may look small, but it carries so much with it. It's I want to say it's heavy just because it's so much in such a small package, but it's not, like Lardina kept emphasizing earlier, it's not deep. She keeps it very simple so you can completely understand it. This is definitely one of those books that you'll keep coming back to.
Yes.
Because this is life. Like this is literally your life. People are your life. You need people in your life, and you need to know how to have relationships that are healthy. And I think the other overarching theme is God and his relationship with you and how he desires relationship with you.
Yes.
So even if you don't know God as your personal savior, there is opportunity to learn about him and his nature and his character through this book. And the last chapter, I believe, is My God, My Friend. And it talks about how God really desires that personal one-on-one relationship with us, which is, I think, really what sets us apart from other religions, because we actually have opportunity to commune with God, the giver of life, the creator of the universe. Like he really wants to be in relationship with you. So get the book.
Awesome. So one last thing on here, which you're going to touch. Derek says, did you say how much the book is and where we can get it? So in the last minute, just explain where it is and how they can get it and how they can find you and how they can reach you.
Okay, so you can reach me on all social media sites. I'm on Facebook at Relationship Matters. I'm at Twitter at Relationship Matters. I'm on Instagram at Relationship Matters 17. I'm on Google Plus as Relationship Matters. The book is $10.99. You can purchase it on my website at relationshipmattersministries.com, or you can purchase it at Amazon.com, on BarnesandNobles.com. And if you're the type of person that like to go into a bookstore, you can actually get a tangible copy of my book, Relationship Matters, at CLC Bookstores in Morristown, New Jersey. Yes, they picked me up. I was so honored. I was so happy and so blessed. Yes. More bookstores to come, but I'm going to keep that to myself right now. Please support the ministry. Buy the book. It's going to change your life. Again, it's $10.99. You got my website and all social media access to the book and to me. I do reply to your messages or comments. I try my best. And then once you read it, if you love it, please read a review. Leave a review on Amazon.com or whatever you can, because I need this book to go nationwide. I need it to go worldwide, and people pick you up over your reviews. So give me that opportunity to spread the love of God and how relationship matters to people, because they actually do matter. Excuse me, I'm starting to get tongue-tied. Relationships, I cannot emphasize, do matter. They matter.
Yes.
You cannot do this life alone. You just can't. If you got one person in your corner, one person, you're blessed.
Yes.
You are truly blessed. Now, if you happen to go over one, then my God in heaven, you are a force to be reckoned with. But if you have one, you are truly blessed. So this book, Relationship Matters, is changing lives. It changed my life as I was writing the book, and it helped me move forward. There is another series to this book, Relationship Matters, that will be coming out in the next few months, so look for that. There's a lot of things that I'm doing, and stay tuned for the next forum. Again, all the information, the updates that you may need, go to my social media sites. I try to keep them updated on information. Again, the book is $10.99. It's the best investment you can make. And spread the love. So thank you guys for tuning in. I truly appreciate the comments, the love. I appreciate my entourage. This is my squad. These are my homies. I can't do life. I can't do this book. I can't do anything without them. They do everything so much for me. They encourage me. They hold the barf bag when I feel like I gotta throw up.
I ain't holding the barf bag.
They really help me. So I can't do this thing, Relationship Matters, without them. They do matter. They are my relationship. So I thank you. Even to my cameraman, Jaren. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next month. Have a good night.